I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Tonight's presentation of the U.S. Open Wheel Doubleheader is presented by Kimmy K's Bolt-On Appliances, the Team Watson Racing Wine and Cheese Club, Bizzle's Lot Lizard Emporium, and viewers like you. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network, where it's championship night. We are going to crown champions of the U.S. Open Wheel C-Class and the D-Class, or at least allegedly going to crown champions, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Coming to you tonight from Sonoma Raceway, my name is Chris Graham, joined in the booth, as always, by Misters Patrick Byrne, James Watson, and our little furry French foreign friend is in the booth with us tonight, Sebastian Kinder. What's up, boys? Hope you all are having a good night. Seb, we'll come to you first, because we're not going to let James talk about his home racetrack. Sonoma is one of those places either you love or you hate, but I think this is going to put on a pretty darn good race for us here.
Oh, absolutely. He's going to do it. Like, the racetrack is so fun to drive. It's tough, but it's fun. Some overtaking opportunity in this shoot, so that will be very interesting. And watch that final turn. You're going to see some Last Action Hero. Oh, dang it, I had a reference. Some last lap action.
I think you got it right. And James, quite frankly, there's a lot going on here as we pick up David Porcelli making his way into the hairpin. We were just here in the real world doing the Spec Corvettes on a doubleheader weekend. Same layout that those guys ran, or actually I think they ran the carousel, but one way or the other. This place is just crazy. Big up the hill here at turn 1, hard off into turn 2 at the top of the hill. A lot of technicality that these drivers are going to have to deal with.
Definitely. There's so many blind apex corners. You're just having to turn when you think you need to turn. And if you don't have as much time on this track, more often than not, you're going to either turn too early and absolutely eat a curb and yeet yourself off the racetrack, or you're going to turn too late and yeet yourself off the racetrack without the help of the curb. So that's what makes it difficult and so rewarding. And like, it's a lot more fun and easier to deal with in this car because it's not as high powered as some of the cars that you're used to driving around here, like a stock car or the Indy car. So you can kind of push it a little harder. You're not quite on edge, but you're still on edge for this car, and it's just a great time.
Well, and Bizzle, we have a full field tonight, 24 cars on the entry list. That means there's the potential of lap traffic coming into play. And quite frankly, a lot of cars that maybe you just don't necessarily you're not familiar with the people you're driving around. That's not an easy thing to deal with.
Yeah, this track is incredibly tough to make passes at, especially against a slower car that's not super confident with the track. Oh, we see David Porcelli going around.
Porcelli goes
around. You can see a lap car do that. It's very easy to run wide there. What is that, turn number 6?
Yep.
The right-hander, you want to come over that curb a little bit, and I was talking about in the pre-race where you almost jump the car over the curb, bring it within inches of that tire barrier, but it's very easy to hit. And it's very easy to pressure some lap traffic into doing that. Super easy mistake to make. And you saw how Porcelli, a very experienced driver in the series, shot right back across the racetrack when he hit that wall.
Yeah, and I tell you what.
If you're one of the leaders coming to make a pass around a lap car, you don't want that to happen to you.
No, and Everett Paddock missed the corner as well. We saw him briefly getting off the racetrack. Following along now with Nicholas Daly, who is now quick time 1 minute 6.375. As his qualification run has come to an end, we'll pick up Mobin Khan just over the start-finish line. His second lap improves, but not enough. 106.572. Let's see. Nagisa Yoshikawa out on the speedway. Right now, going to be Nicholas Daly, Mobin Khan, Everett Paddock, Alexander Wesley Hazelworth, and David Porcelli, your top 5. How about the run for Sam Karasala? Number 16 on the iRating board, but number 6 here in qualifications.
You love to see it.
Sam is actually one of the top guys over in Skippies. He's really good at wheeling those cars around, and if there's any open wheeler that's like a Skippy, it's these ones. So it's really not all that surprising to see him up amongst the top guys in the series.
Following along now with the 21 of Evan Cooley, as we are down to 3 minutes remaining in the qualifying session. Cooley's first lap does not score. In fact, neither of his laps are going to score. Let's pick up, let's see, Joao Rafael Silva Lopez. He is currently working lap number 1. Jason Miller's first lap does not score. Brian Molitor with a nice lap. He's going to be up to 3rd quick. And I'll tell you what here, Seb, we've got 10 cars all within 1 second of each other on outright pace. And the top 6 cars, top 8 cars are within 6 tenths.
That's insane. That's the parity of this field. That's why it's so good.
Jason Miller's second lap puts him up to 11th. 1 minute 7.308, just a tick under 1 second off the pace. Lopez, that we're following now, 1.9 seconds off the pace on lap number 1. Jacob Gazzella setting his final lap in qualifications. He will be 23rd. Evan Cooley is done. We're literally waiting on this lap from Lopez. As soon as it's done, qualifying will be finished, and it'll be time to head off to the grid. Love this look. Down into the hairpin. So much action is going to be going on there this evening.
Yeah, watch that corner when somebody pulls a Tony Stewart.
One final time through that final little kink left-hander, and that will be it for qualifications. Lopez up to the 17th position, 108.149.
Got to give a huge shout out to Robert Drew, checking it in the comments. He dropped out of this race to ensure we got a full 24-car split in this one. He was that 25th driver that would have made it split into 2 13-car races.
And took the iRating hit as well.
Yes.
That's a big one. Thank you very much, Robert. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Robert's the real MVP because he's a local boy like I am, so it's not easy for him to not run this race.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to be back for the USF2000 race coming up here in just a moment. But the final couple of seconds are going to run off on qualifying. Cody Brooks checking in. Also, Corey Hartz, thank you very much. Appreciate everybody coming and check it out in the comments. Give it a like, give it a share if you're enjoying the show. Let's help screw YouTube's algorithm a little bit.
It needs more US open wheel on iRacing.
Yes, it does. Let's get ready here. Oh, my goodness. We have a full pace lap to get through the starting grid, but that's all right. We'll enjoy it. Starting on the pole for Downforce Racing, carrying the number 3 this evening with a lap time of 1 minute 6.375. It will be Nicholas Daly, looking to wrap up what has been a pretty darn good season and kind of a hard luck season for him. On the outside, the Dr. Dauber, number 12 of Mobin Khan, putting in, quite frankly, a pretty good lap, only about 0.2 of a second off of quick time. Row number 2 will have the unsponsored number 4 of Brian Molitor. Nice Jacques Villeneuve livery on the helmet there, though, for Mr. Molitor, alongside of the Team Watson Racing setups. National Racing Network, Martin Sports, number 5 of Nagisa Yoshikawa. Row number 3 will be the TNT Racing, aligned with Downforce this season entry of Everett Paddock. He will carry the number 2 here this evening, alongside of the Scuderia Ferrari, number 6 of the law firm Alexander Wesley Hazelworth. Row number 4 will be the Team Watson Racing setups, number 1 of David Porcelli, lining up alongside of the number 16 of Sam Carasala. Row 5 will see the Citizens Climate Lobby, number 9 of Mike Collar. Beautiful skyline of the city of Chicago on the side of that race car, lining up alongside of the NASA Meatball of Brian LaBarge. Row number 6, whoa, we're halfway there. The 10 of Jason Miller in the PPG Shell V-Power, number 10, lining up alongside that absolutely gorgeous Philadelphia Flyers, number 8 of Rod Eskew.
Yeah, okay.
Row number 7, the TNT Shock, number 14 is Simon Fell. We'll talk a little bit about them during the race here tonight. The Shock Series coming back in just a couple of weeks. A couple of Tuesdays away. Looking forward to that one. Lining up alongside of the Homestead Coffee Roasters, Tales from Rukon Schaefer Oil, number 11 of West Shire. Row number 8, the Fanatec 13 of Mike Ballion, alongside of Joseph Heath in that familiar yellow submarine. The Danny Rick Dale Earnhardt tribute helmet. God, I just love the combination on Joseph Heath's cars. Joao Rafael Silva Lopez in the 17 out of Brazil, lining up inside of row number 9, alongside of the 22 of Aaron Braverman. Row number 10 will have the Team Watson Racing setups, National Racing Network 24 of Ben Carswell, alongside of the number 18 of Keenan Blades. Row 11, Cole Trexler in the, I can't tell what the sponsor is. I can't read it. Sorry, Cole. Let me know in the comments what it is. I know he's got a fan club there. He's lining up alongside of the Napa Know-How, number 19 of Jason Paydu. And on the final row of tonight's race will be the 23 of Jacob Gadzella and the 21 of Evan Cooley. Field making their way into that hairpin for the first time, final time at slow speed. Very quick to the accelerator. Nicholas Daly going to get away before they even make the left. He'll be your race leader to turn number 1. Most of the field going to start to settle down. Good look as they come up the hill. Oh, Hazelworth thought about stuffing it 3 wide up into turn number 2. Everybody towards the front going to start to settle in. Oh, we've got one going around backwards. I think that's going to be Aaron Braverman going around. It is. He's going to be able to get that car spun back around. Possibly trouble here. West Shire's off the racetrack as well. Joel Rafael Silva Lopez is off. Keenan Blades is off. Early trouble. I was going to say early trouble for several cars here. Let's take a look at it here on the NRN instant replay. See if we can see what happened up the hill to West Shire. Oh, just a little bit of a lockup. Shire takes to the grass. Well, I guess the dirt, because there isn't any grass here at this place.
No, there's grass. It's just dead.
Like the efforts of most of the drivers who participate here at Sonoma Raceway. There's your race leader up the hill. Already first of 22 laps in the books will be Nicholas Daly by 0.6 of a second over Mobin Khan. Nagisa Yoshikawa with a nice run up into the 3rd position, getting around Brian Molitor on the opening lap. David Porcelli completes the top 5. I'll tell you what, Bizzle, a little bit surprised that we saw everybody get single file so quickly. Ordinarily, these PM18 races are kind of draft trains, and we're just not seeing that here tonight.
Not yet. I have a feeling we will see it. Not a lot of straightaways here, though, at Sonoma. It's pretty much not a straight section of track other than this one right here coming into the hairpin. So, not a huge ton of time for a draft train to happen, but I do definitely think we'll see side-by-side racing, especially through the S's on the backstretch. It's not easy to go side-by-side there, but these cars are small enough that they can make it work.
Well, and James, that's the other part here is there's really no incentive to run totally gonzo here in the first couple of laps. 22 laps is a fairly long race around this place.
Yeah, but it also kind of feels quicker than it is. Like, it's basically standard length, but it really doesn't feel that long because this track is so small. It's
Trouble
quick,
on the racetrack for Everett Paddock.
Oh.
Paddock is off. Hazelworth is off at the entry down into the chute. Let's get you.
He's missing a front wing.
Yeah, Paddock's going to be done. Let's take a look here at the replay. It actually started, I think, with Alexander Wesley. Hazelworth got a little bit off the racetrack. Nowhere for Paddock to go. I think both of those cars may be done for the night.
I mean, there's no way that number 6 has no damage with this impact.
That's 3A for you. It's so hard. That's arguably the hardest corner on the track because it's the highest part elevation change wise, and coming over the crest, the car just gets so light. It's so easy to just kind of drive it off if you're not sure if you got your turning point right, or just get on it too quickly and just burn the rear off of it. Like when you're watching the Cup cars here, it's the place that you see them get sideways the most, behind turn 9.
Porcelli a little bit wide on exit. Going to give up a bunch of ground there to Molitor. This is the battle for the third position. Yoshikawa, followed by Molitor and Porcelli. Sizable gap back to 6th place, Mike Holler. Good run inside the top 10 for Mike, though. He's another Golden Anvil, Cartoon Anvil, whatever you want to call it, recipient this year.
He's just continuing from his awesome run in the USF SOF last week.
The comments coming in here. That would be the most well-known iRacing livery of Sus Motor Club. Thank you very much, Rockstar and Corey Hartz. The AJ Camargo checking in saying, spicy start? And then, that's not how you bump draft. No, it's not. The track guard killed the car and locked up a blast.
Well, I'm glad Trexler's buddies are still rooting for him. I mean, obviously not going to be a great finish for him tonight, but I'm glad his friends are still supportive.
Nice pass. I was going to say, nice pass by Molitor entering the S's. Looks like Paddock, Gazella, Hazelworth, Trexler, all going to be off the racetrack, as is... actually, Paddock looks like he's back out on the racetrack, so we'll see if Everett's going to be able to gain any time back, but... Take a look, see where else we have battles. How about Mike Holler, Sam Carasala, side by side up the hill. Rockstar checking in saying, they're not friends, we are a dictatorship.
Checks out.
They're comrades.
They're contractually obligated to be in attendance. Oh, Carasala having a look. Trying to cross over. Oh, Holler clipped the curb.
What a move.
Yeah, he forced.
Go on board with Brian LaBarge. He's got a great view of this battle.
Amazing view. It's just so much fun just watching the car go through these corners. a roller coaster. I love it.
By the way, James, I have a question for you. A very interesting question. Carousel or chute?
So, the chute is the better track to race. The carousel is the better track to drive. The carousel is like the quintessential corner here. And arguably, to me, it's the best carousel in the world behind the one in the Nürburgring. Because it's banked, and it's banked all the way through, and you're going downhill through it. It's just an absolute blast. But the chute and the entry of 7A is an incredible passing zone. And at a track that, admittedly, there aren't that many passing zones, it's important to have that extra passing zone. You can pass in the carousel, it's just very, very ballsy.
You know, I was about to say I like the carousel at Daytona more, but I remember that was a Ferris wheel that they have up there in the infield, so ignore that.
Patrick, don't be stupid somewhere else.
Oh, come on!
So we're using sunboards now.
I look forward to the DMCA from Viacom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, James, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I hope they don't, but I've seen them do stuff before. Anyways, back to the race.
Yeah, trouble on the racetrack for Joseph Heath in the yellow submarine.
Oh no. Ooh, this overshoot.
Just, yeah, ran it out a little bit wide.
And this is where you have to come back parallel to the track. You mustn't come in just straight ahead.
Yeah, he almost sucked it.
Yeah. Oh,
Brian
Labarge.
Labarge. Labarge going drifting it out of the chute. After giving up.
Right there.
Yeah, I say, well, he just gave up the spot to Rod Eskew on corner entry, it looked like, into the chute. Oh, little hip check. That was some, I think, let's see, that might have been some left side love in there from Jason Miller.
Corey Hart's checking in the comments.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Brian LaShip used for transporting goods. AJ Camargo, you guys know where to send your hate mail. That would be Bizzle at nationalracingnetwork.com.
Come on, Nice. I thought we were friends.
Seeing the comment, 4/10 between the leaders. It's back up to 7/10 between Nicholas Daly and Mobin Khan. They are 4 seconds up on Brian Molitor in third, and Molitor has another 2 seconds or so on David Porcelli. That gap's going to be sitting right about a half second. Let's pick up Evan Cooley and Wes Shire nose to tail for position number 14. Wes trying to recover from the off track earlier in the race.
Do it. Do this, Stewart. Do it. Do it. Oh.
It's too early for Puntarino.
No, I want chaos now.
He means it too.
The French are always asking for a war, but then they're never able to finish it.
Oh, hey, come on.
They did well on a few wars.
Hang on. We're on lap 10? Wait, the Frenchman's out there on the front stretch waving the white flag.
You dirty.
After all the wars the French have won, you surrender in one battle, and that's all people remember.
Because we had I'm not going to start again. Like, this is going to piss me off.
Angry French noises.
Like, I could go on hours and hours just because of...
You built brick walls for 10 years, you're a brick builder. You make sandwich buildings for 10 years, you're a sandwich maker. But you know how the joke goes.
Yeah, I don't think we're legally able to finish that joke, but we all know where you're going with that. And you are correct.
Holy crap.
Anyways, back to the race.
Come on, do it. Dive bomb.
Shire making the dive into the hairpin.
Dive bombing. Oh, they're still side by side.
Oh, nice pass to get that clear. Great pass. Forces Cooley to get the back end of the car loose on corner exit. Able to clear before they get back to the left-hander. May set up Joseph Heath for an attempt up the hill. Cooley with a nice corner exit there out of 2. Able to make up a little bit of time on Shire. Crest the hill, now the big run down towards the right-hander into the chute. Nothing going there that time for Cooley. Oh, almost into that outside wall.
That camera angle is so good.
It's so awesome. It's so iconic. It's just unbelievably cool.
And right now, this is, just for reference, the only real battle on the racetrack right now, and they're separated by a half second or so. You can see the timing tower on the upper left-hand corner of the screen there. It's seconds between cars at this point through the entire top 8. Then you get back here to Jason Miller, Rod Eskew, Brian Labarge will pick that fight up. And that's really it. Back to about 0.6 of a second. The only other cars within a half second of each other, Wes Shire and Evan Cooley. Let's go on board the Homestead Coffee onboard camera with Wes Shire. So we are just past halfway. Cross flags up last time by. Race leaders working lap 12 of 22.
Oh, Mobin got closer to Nicholas Daly.
Yeah, that gap now down to 0.3 of a second. As soon as we say there's not a fight anywhere, they're going to give us one in a fight for the lead. Let's go on board here now with Mobin Khan. Get you the look over the right-hand shoulder of pilot number 12.
Oh, is that? Yeah. Oh, yes, that's lap traffic.
So cool to hear the throttle work. Not all the way on the throttle. And a lot of feathering of the throttle there, Bizzle. Just kind of working things on and off and using the right foot to get the car turned.
That's the best way to get through those S's. I've played around with it a lot in the AI races, just running Lotus 49 just because it's fun. And you can pretty much hold the throttle damn near dead straight through the S's and just drift the car with the throttle through there in Lotus 49. It's probably the most fun you can have in sim racing. As much as I hate to say it, I have had fun at Sonoma here, James Watson.
Huh, told you.
So your race leader is starting to come up on lap traffic.
Ooh, and okay.
Lap car clears out of the way.
Mobin did lose some time lapping the car.
A little bit, and also it looks like, well, I thought Brian Molitor was making some time up there. But that's kind of as the leaders get to battling, that can close the gap up to Brian Molitor here pretty quickly. Nieje Camargo checking in. David is just chilling. He has the championship in the bag. I don't know that in the bag is the right way to say it. Entering tonight's race, David had yes, with Everett Paddock having the issue, he now has the championship locked up. Because it was 12:04 to 11:68. It was only a 36-point difference between Porcelli and Paddock. That gets into the drop weeks. The other one that could switch, Paddock could actually fall to third in points. He was on 11:68. It was down to 11:21 for Nicholas Daly. Only a 47-point difference. With a win tonight, this becomes a drop week for Everett. Could we see a flip in the championship standings?
Yeah, we will have to wait till the end of the season to see who will be the champion. There is just a very slight chance for a high strength of field race towards the end of the week. But frankly, unless these bunch of guys get together and go, hey, let's have one more, this is it.
Yeah, well, and it also comes down to your drop weeks at that point, too. Nicholas Daly picks up a win here tonight. That takes a drop week, makes a drop week out of a race that might not have been one of his best. Now, all of a sudden, you're talking about it was only got 80-some points that you were talking about difference between the two. You can make that up in an SOF like this.
And Nicholas Daly with the new fastest lap on lap 16 here.
That's insane. Like,
From the lead, he is just pulling away from Obin Khan. Gap up to 2 seconds now. We saw Obin Khan just run off there out of turn number 4. So, frankly, it's Daly's race to lose at this point.
Yep, good battle here. Jason Miller, Rod Eskew, Brian Labarge. This is the fight for 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Oh boy.
yeah, that's not where you want to get tied because you'll lose the momentum, and that's for that whole section.
Yep.
Yeah, Seb, that's a great point. We talk about it a lot with the USF2000 car, but it's equally important here when you don't have the big straightaways to use the draft to make up time. Keeping up momentum is really important. You give up time on corner exit, it's going to hurt you for a third of the racetrack, it feels like here.
And this is why they're using every inch of the track at the exit of the chute, even at the entry of the... that's 7A, right? The exit of the chute, right, James? I don't have corner numbers.
Correct.
Yeah, so...
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so this is why the entry of 7A, they're even on the left of the line because they don't give you an X for that. So this is why they're using every inch of the track.
Oh, Mike Holler going around. Mike Holler spins out of that corner. Let's take a look at that one on the replay. Oh, and it looks like Holler may have had to take the toe. Kicks it out wide, catches a little curb. Oh, yeah, tears the left front off the race car. Tough break for Mike Holler.
That's heartbreaking.
That curb is evil. Oh, he dives already.
Oh, they touch!
They touch! He pulled the steward! Well, not quite, but...
We'll take it. A little bit of left side loving there from Brian Labarge on corner entry. Corey Hart's asking, what happened to Carter Lundy? Robert Drew saying, did school start back up for him? I don't know. Actually, I haven't talked to Carter in a little bit. He's been kind of hit or miss this season. I mean, he made 8 starts, but that's not the 12, 14, 16 that we're used to seeing out of a lot of these drivers. Now that this battle has settled down, let's take a look here. Magisa Yoshikawa, Sam Karasala battling for a spot inside the top 5 with 4 laps to go. Still a 2-second lead for Nicholas Daly over Mobin Khan. And Karasala gets a great run there into turn 10. See if he's going to have the look inside to 11. Not quite close enough.
He's still got Nagisa to react to this.
See.
He's going for it.
Oh!
They almost touch.
Nice pass. Sam Karasala up the hill at turn 2.
It's a ballsy move. It's not easy to pass there. You think it's one of the passing zones here? It's not, because of all the speed you're carrying up that hill. So if you can pull off a pass there, you had to work for it. Super impressive.
Well, it also is. I don't know if it's a true off-camber corner, but it sort of drives like it. You kind of have to get the car set early into the corner and just roll through it, as opposed to being able to use the throttle to try to drive your way through the corner.
I mean, it definitely feels like an off-camber corner. You definitely feel the same having to be careful on throttle application that you get going up 3A. Like, you can easily kick the rear out too much if you're too on it. It's not as easy to do as 3A, but if you're not careful, it will bite you.
Now picking up Simon Fell and Mike Ballion in the battle for 11th. That was Mike Ballion in that battle for position. Wes Shire comes around. Now Shire going to go on the attack on Simon Fell. These guys will be battling every Tuesday night for, well, quite frankly, most of the winter in the TNT Shock Series. That will be back on Tuesday, September 12th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You can do the conversions if you're somewhere else in the world. Round number 1 coming to you from Iowa Speedway. First 3 races, Iowa, Milwaukee, and Myrtle Beach. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm only thrilled about 2 of those tracks. Milwaukee doesn't like.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh wait, it's the white flag already?
Yeah, white flag is out. One lap to go here for race leader Nicholas Daly with a 2.1 second lead over Mobin Khan. If Nicholas Daly's going to have a shot at second in points, he absolutely needs to get this accomplished. AJ Camargo checking in. Great comeback for Shire. Yeah, I agree, AJ. Up into the 12th position after getting forced off the racetrack on lap number 1. But this race tonight has been all about this guy. Nicholas Daly, the Downforce Racing number 3, through that hairpin for the final time. One more left-hand corner to make, and he'll see the final twin checkers of the season, and Nicholas Daly gets the win at Sonoma. Mobin Khan going to come home second. Third will belong to Brian Molitor. David Porcelli coming over the line in the 4th position. And over the line now in 5th will be the 16 of Sam Karasala. There's a look at your race winner. Great run tonight for Nicholas Daly.
Good for Nicholas. It's been an up and down season for him. There's been a lot of races that he's had the pole and he's dominated, but he just didn't get the result that he deserved. So this was his race, and he imposed his will on everyone.
Yes, he did. A great run tonight for Nicholas Daly. Ed Samborski checking in the comments. Good to have you with us there, Ed. So while we get ready for the Victory Lane interviews, we actually have a fair number of viewers here tonight. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on if you would like to see the USF2000s come back next season. I am very much on the fence over whether we're going to bring them back. The viewership numbers don't bear out that it's something that you guys want to watch on a week-to-week basis. But we got a bunch of people here in the comments. Let us know if you want to see them. We'll bring them back. But we will absolutely 100% be back with the officials for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. While we wait for your comments to roll in, let's take a look at the race. Results after all 22 laps are in the books. Nicholas Daly, Mobin Khan, and Brian Molitor will make up your podium here this evening. David Porcelli and Sam Karasala complete the top 5. 6 through 10, Nagisa Yoshikawa, Jason Miller, Rod Eskew, Brian Labarge, and Ben Carswell. 11 through 20, Simon Fell, Wes Shire, Mike Ballion, Joseph Heath, Evan Cooley, Everett Paddock, Joel Rafael Silva Lopez in 17th, the final car on the lead lap. Keaton Blades and Aaron Braverman coming home 1 lap down in 18th and 19th. Jason Padu in 20th, 4 laps behind the race leaders. Mike Collar, Jacob Gadzella, Alexander Wesley Hazelworth, and Cole Trexler rounding out the full field of 24 cars we got for championship night. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, and Robert Drew for taking one for the team. We appreciate that. Let's get to our Victory Lane interviews here, and let's bring up our race winner, Nicholas Daly. And man, I'll tell you what, Nicholas, in control from the drop of the green flag, and in fact, you made the statement, even quite frankly, before you got to that final left-hander, before the start-finish line, you were gone, and this race was going to be yours to lose right from the drop of the green.
Yeah, pretty much. That sums it up. It might have looked easy, I don't know, but yeah, I definitely had a lot to lose there, so I was very cautious to not put a wheel in the dirt because that's so easy to do. But yeah, super glad to get I think that's my first legit win in the broadcast SOF. So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, I don't think I would call it a legit first win. I think we've talked to you a couple of times on the top step of the podium, but I tell you what, this race kind of had a lot riding on it for you, because with the tight battle between you and Everett for second in the standings, you kind of got what you needed to get done tonight. Dominate practice qualifying in the race, Everett having a little bit of an issue, and now you got to just kind of wait for the rest of the week's races to shake out.
Yeah, we'll see where the results or point standings come out. I was kind of hoping for the championship, but I think it's a little bit too unlucky, I think, throughout the whole season, and I think David just did a really good job this season, so yeah.
Yes, it was. It's looking right now like David Porcelli is going to be the champ by 70 points over you, overtaking Everett Paddock, 1230 to 1168. A great season for you. Looking at the numbers as they sit now, 11 starts, 1 win, 7 top 5s, 3 pole positions. You got to be really happy with how this season played out, and quite frankly, feeling pretty damn good as you head into season 4, because you're peaking right now as we get to the end of the year.
Yeah, it's I think one of my better finishes this season, so yeah, really happy with that.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on a great win tonight. I mean, dominating. We hardly showed you, unfortunately. You were so far out in front, but great run in the championship as well. And before we let you go, make sure you do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous here, too.
Yeah, shout out to Downforce Racing for all the amazing setup work. I really couldn't have done it without them. It really makes it a lot easier to hop into the races and be able to run a setup that you know is going to work. So, yeah, huge shout out to them. Thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast, which basically makes this whole championship. And thank you to all the viewers for watching.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us up here in the booth. Good Lord, I got to find you to drag you out of here. Let's see. Let's bring in our 2023 Season 3 champion, David Porcelli. David, congratulations. Maybe not the race you might have wanted to have tonight, ultimately coming home in the 4th position, but doing enough, it looks like, to lock up a championship. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's been the mantra all season, just do enough, and it looks like it's worked, so I'm glad. Definitely not the race I was looking for. Holy smokes, the pace from the guys up front, like, hats off to them, that was killer. now just looking forward to the USF2000. Currently, one of my counted weeks is a drop. So as long as I can secure a decent finish in this next race, my points tally should shoot up quite a bit. And I don't think it'll be enough to catch Nick, but fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But this has been a great season for you. We do have the updated points. 8 starts, 2 wins, 6 top 5s, an average finish of 4th, and what looks to be right now a 70-point championship win over Nicholas. When you have the drop weeks that you had, you really have to maximize every time you're out on the racetrack, and that was really what you were able to accomplish this season.
Yeah, I sort of lucked out. If Nick had been able to string together a bit stronger of like an 8-week tally, I think there wouldn't have been any hope for me. So I'm really glad that I was able to make it happen with the results that I have. Just looking forward to this next season. Now that I can really, get my feet dirty and go all out.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck in the USFs here. And before we let you go, make sure you do all the sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Absolutely. I have Trading Paints down right now. I'll have it up next week. But shout out to Satellite Racing, Team Watson Racing, Racecraft One Indianapolis. Hi to the family. Thanks to National Racing Network for an awesome broadcast every week. And I hope to see you guys in the booth in about 45 minutes.
All right, brother. Thank you much. Congratulations once again on the championship here. And I think we have one more Victory Lane interview that we're going to get to here. Let's see. Let's bring up Mobin Khan, our runner-up finisher here tonight. And, man, Mobin, I'll tell you what, great run. Ultimately, with, I guess, about 4 or 5 laps to go, you started to make up a lot of ground on Nicholas. It was just crazy outright pace that you guys had up front. Tell us about your night.
Oh, man, thanks a lot. Honestly, was reluctant to run this race. Wasn't really feeling good, but Adam Crane actually talked me into it, so I'm very, very grateful that he was able to do that. Pace kind of came out of nowhere, and it was really good throughout the race. Nicholas made me work, man. He was fast, and it made me sweat. Made a couple little mistakes towards the end, and he kind of pulled away. But honestly, pretty happy that I showed up today, and I have to give a shout out to all the guys of the season. You guys do an excellent job with the broadcast. I love it. Even a few races where I crashed out, I still stuck around to watch. It's really entertaining, and I have to give a shout out to Adam Crane for sure, because if it wasn't for Adam, I would have never known this series existed. He introduced me to it, and he's kind of helped me guide through it, and my team, Echelon Simsport, who supported me a lot, like throughout the beginning, and they'd stream some of my races, stuff like that. I'm forever grateful, and I'm really, really looking forward to next season.
I'll tell you what, you're one of the converts. We hear, it seems like everybody that we get to talk to at various points during the season is, I didn't know this car was so good. I didn't know this community was this good. It really speaks to a fun group of people to hang around with, good, clean racing on the racetrack, and a fun way to spend a couple of hours on a Thursday night.
I agree, and honestly, this car has actually ruined every other car for me on iRacing. Whenever I do the one-off event like Nürburgring 24-hour in a GT3 or Le Mans and the GTP, and then I drive those cars, and I'm like, I just want to drive the Indy Pro. I couldn't care about the others. I just yearn to get back into the Indy Pro. It's so good. It's so good.
That's right.
Yeah, that might end up as quotes on graphics or something. Thank you very much for being the quote machine, and quite frankly, congratulations on a great season and a really nice second place finish here tonight. I know you got a bunch of the plugs in, but anybody else you want to say thank you or plug before we let you go? No? All right.
That's wow.
All right, buddy. Well, Mobin, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming and hanging out in the booth with us here for a couple of minutes. I am going to throw this one out here to Mr. Sebastian Kinder, our foreign French correspondent tonight. I tell you what, pretty decent race we got here. Nice battles throughout the field. And quite frankly, with Nicholas Daly running away with it, we got to show a lot of those battles, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Sonoma isn't really like a battle track, but tonight was pretty good. Like, really, shout outs to Isidro, because at one point, Mobin was 3/10 on his back. There was a lap car to lap, and he managed to pull himself together and pull a 2-second lead. That's just why these drivers are so good, man.
Yeah, he was impressive, and quite frankly, James, Sonoma equally as impressive here. We got to see every bit of the difficulty of this place, and we're going to get to see even more of it coming up here in the USF2000s in just a minute.
Yeah, it's an incredible track. It's just so much fun to drive. I'm not surprised at all that we were able to see an awesome show get put on, and I can't wait to see what the USFs do, especially with how much harder those things are to drive compared to the PM18.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But now, Bizzle, it's time for our discussion that we asked for the comments on. Nieje Camargo checking in, saying, nah, the PM18s are the good stuff. Rockstar is saying, depends on the series life at that point. Seems like the USFs are on their decline. Corey Hartz, personally, I think the USF is way underrated. I probably won't race the full season, but will enjoy popping in some and watching. Cole Trexler saying, please keep the USF broadcast. And then Rockstar says, I have been informed by my PR team that I must revoke my previous public statement. I wish to see the future of the USF series broadcast on this internet service media channel.
Now, I will try to appease everyone in my statement. I don't believe we should be doing a doubleheader every single week. But for certain weeks, such as Oval Week and maybe a couple of the road courses that we know put on fantastic racing every time we show them, yeah, maybe do a doubleheader 4 to 5 times a season. Just throw it up there. Hey, we're going to throw the USFs in here with the PM18s, give you guys a doubleheader show. But for some of the other tracks that, it might be a snooze fest for these things, and we know the viewership declines and nobody watches anyway, there's no reason to show the USFs. It is a D-class series.
Yes, and actually something that the one that's been going through my head is doing them as split broadcasts and maybe using that USF race as a kind of a development thing for talent on our end as well. That's something that we'll have some conversations about over the next week. But we only got 7 minutes until the USFs are getting ready to kick off here. So we got to go take a break, get out of this server, get into the other server, possibly grab a frosty cold beverage or two. But with that, we will be right back. You are watching the U.S. Open Wheel Doubleheader right here on the National Racing Network.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
And welcome back to some USF open wheel doubleheader action from Sonoma Raceway. We just saw a fantastic race in the US Open Wheel C cars. Here we are with the US Open Wheel D cars, a little bit slower out of these machines, but should see a little bit of a tighter race with the fixed setups. James, this is your home track. We're going to bring it to you. What are you expecting to see out of these beasts at this track?
I'm going to see a lot harder racing. Not harder racing in the sense of side-by-side. Harder in just you're having a harder time driving it. There's a lot of off-throttle time, especially when you're going through the S's. And you know as well as I do that off-throttle time with the off-throttle oversteer in this car can get pretty sketchy. So it's going to be real interesting watching everyone go through the S's and go through 3A for the first few times, trying to keep the rear underneath them.
Yeah, off-throttle time in this car is killer. With the open differential, this thing kind of just wants to spin around on you every time you pull your foot completely off the gas. So definitely going to be a challenge for these drivers. Seb, I know you don't have a ton of experience in the USF cars, but do you have any experience in a car that kind of wants to kill you every second like this? I know you were big in the Indy cars before. And
I raced the 05 at Indianapolis when it's like 130 degrees Fahrenheit, and that car was to effing kill you. Yeah. So in this, it's like having a car that wants to kill you on a track that wants to kill you. That's you're going to have a lot of fun.
So as we get into qualifying now, the first car we're going to watch is the number 1 car of David Porcelli. And you can see just how much wider this car has to run through the corners. How much that back end is kind of tracking out on him. We saw very precise driving out of the drivers in the PM18 race, and I don't know if we're going to see that this time. Our top guy in that number 1 car, David Porcelli, is kind of sliding the rear end around all over this racing circuit. So interesting to see if he is going to be on the top spot this time. Runs way wide through turn 11, through the hairpin, down the front straightaway now. So up the hill, David Porcelli comes. Very precise driving out of him this time. Hitting each apex, doesn't run wide. Very difficult to do. It seems like that's almost a regular job for a racing driver to do, but a track like Sonoma makes it incredibly difficult. Runs a little wide up the hill, but I don't know if that's going to be a 1X. Hits turn 6 perfectly in the turn 7 now. What's he going to do? Riding right against the outside wall. Hits the apex both times through 7 and 7A. Now coming into the backstretch S's. Keeps the car perfectly under control. This is going to be the hardest section to drive in the USF car. Seems to keep the back end under him. What we saw in his outlap is not what we're seeing on his first timed lap. Hits everything perfectly into the hairpin now. Through the right-hander. Doesn't run wide this time. It looks like it's going to be a perfect lap for him. Will this be the pole lap that everyone else is going to have to try and beat? Through the final corner now, across the line. That's going to be our first time lap of the session. What's it put him at? Oh, Nicholas Daly currently quick time, 1:11.072. Where does the number 1 car, Porcelli? Porcelli did not score. That running wide through turn number 5 is going to kill his first time lap. Brian Molitor up to the second quick spot, still over half a second slower than Nicholas Daly. Arnold Koch going 3rd quick, over a second slower than Brian Molitor. Mike Gakmir, 2/10 slower than Nick Daly. That's only good enough for 2nd quick. Nagisa Yoshikawa up to 4th quick, 8/10 slower than your pole time. So we're still going to continue watching David Porcelli through the S's this time. Will his 2nd lap count? I haven't seen him go off track yet. into the final section of the S's. Through turn number 10, down the straightaway to turn number 11. Hits it almost perfectly, sends the back end out just a little bit of counter steer through turn number 12, the final corner of the circuit. Cross the line, what's this give him? That's going to be second and quick, 157th, slower than Nicholas Daly. Nicholas Daly goes quicker on his second lap with a 110.972. So Nicholas Daly, your winner in the first race we saw tonight, going to be your pole sitter for the second race, provided nobody goes any quicker. Brian D is on his second time lap now. He was almost 5 seconds slower than your pole time on his first time lap. Second lap, let's see what it tracks going through the S's now. Through turn number 9, going to hit it just about perfectly. Through turn number 10 now, into the run to turn 11, down the straightaway. I love this shot. The car coming right at you. Takes the dive into the hairpin. Cuts the corner just a little bit into the run of turn number 12 and across the line. Let's see what he's going to do. Brian D's in that number 10 car. Across the line, there it is. Let's see what that time puts him at. Still going to be 11th quick, but goes a little bit quicker. He's only just under 4 seconds slower than your pole sitter. So that is going to be all your qualified cars.
You can feel how slippery it is out there on the track. Like, I could see when we saw David Porcelli doing his laps. Like, I don't feel the car is planted on the ground.
And see, that's the crazy thing is that it's not that hot, you know? Yeah, it gets hot here, but we actually don't deal with as ridiculous heat as we do the rest of the country.
Derek Castor checking in from the comments saying, go Cole! And yeah, Cole Trexler out on track tonight. Hoping for a good finish for him. Unfortunately, not a great finish in race number 1 tonight in the PM18s, but hoping to see him put on a little bit better of a show for his fans here in the USF2000 race. All right, so your pole sitter tonight is going to be Nicholas Daly, your winner from the PM18 races. Fantastic show out of the last one, absolute domination. Hoping to see it again out of him. Mike Eckmeyer starting side by side with him in that number 5 machine. Next up, we're going to see Brian Molitor starting in the 3rd position, and to his outside is going to be David Porcelli in the number 1 machine. He is your driver to beat tonight, going to be in the top car. Nagisa Yoshikawa in the Team Watson Racing Setups purple number 4 machine. To his outside is going to be Rylan Richard in the unsponsored number 9. Row number 4 is going to have Cole Trexler, the fan favorite, starting beside the Guinness number 11 machine of Arnold Koch. Row number 5 is going to have Mike Holler on the inside in the number 7, and Rod Eskew in the Lehigh Valley Phantoms number 6. I can get behind the Phantoms, just not the Flyers.
I mean, it flies over your head, right?
Brian D's in the Monster Energy number 10, and to his outside is going to be the Mob number 8 of Mike Ballion. That is going to be all 12 cars in the field tonight, so a little bit of short of a grid. But our battles are going to be towards the front of the field tonight, so hoping to see some of the cars from the back make their way up towards the front and kind of spice this race up a little bit. So turn number 1 and 2 of this circuit are 2 kind of flat left-handers up into the winding uphill right-hander. That is turn number 3. Turn number 4, another left-hander uphill again at the windy, twisty, uphill, downhill Sonoma. Downhill now, the cars go in to the turn number 5. Kind of a little right-handed kink. Turn number 6 now, where they'll jump over that hump of a curb, almost hitting the tire barriers each time. Just one little misstep can spell disaster for your race. In the turn number 7 and 7A, this is a right-left combination through some crazy set of curbs. Through turns number 8, 9, and 10. These are a set of S's that wind downhill. Damn near a flat-out section at this track. Very easy to get it wrong, but very satisfying to get right. Kind of want to hit each and every set of curbs that the track builders laid out on this circuit. through turn number 10 now. This is where all the billboards are, kind of the famous section of track you see from all the pictures. Some outdated billboards that I absolutely love here on the iRacing platform. The first one is that 2009 billboard for the brand new Dodge Charger. Kind of an outdated car we see now, but I absolutely love seeing that old Charger. Through turn number 11 now, the hairpin. So many fantastic passes have been had here in the past. Field is already underway. Nicholas Daly off to another very early start across the start-finish line. The field's going to get single file very quickly. It's going to be Daly, Ekmir, and Molitor is going to be your top 3 coming across the line. Going through the uphill now, they remain that way. No major incidents to report on just yet. Who's that sliding around? No contact. Rylan Richard off track, kind of sliding through turn number 3. Going to be all right. Battle for second place is going to be between Mike Ekmir and Brian Molitor. Running nose to tail through turn number 6 now. Almost getting side by side, nothing quite yet. Will Molitor make move in the turn number 7? Yes, he does. Side by side through 7A. Into the downhill now.
Oh,
this is tight. This is tight.
Oh, I saw bump.
Porcelli damn near pumping Molitor.
Yeah, I don't know if David liked that.
David's gonna be seeing.
That was dive bomb behind.
That was. Get the air raid sirens going on that one. Clean move though. Clean dive bomb. Yeah. Not saying anything about it.
Mike Holler with a huge run now. He's going to be chasing down Nagisa Yoshikawa, trying to break into the top 5. Let's see what it can do into the uphill, into the right-hander right behind Yoshikawa. Doesn't pick up any ground there. Can he make the move by turn number 6 or even in the turn number 6? Let's watch him go through this first set of S's.
Oh, someone's gone off track behind him.
Oh, Ryan Richard almost looks like he wants to take the shoot that time, spinning off. However, it's going to put him towards the back of the pack. He's going to have time to make it back onto the circuit.
Sideways!
Brian Molitor and David Porcelli still fighting for that 3rd position. Porcelli trying to break into the podium spot. Rockstar 71 saying, yeah, woo, let's go, Cole Drexler. Totally saying this out of good faith, not out of fear of what would happen to my family if I do not support Cole Drexler. Cole Drexler seems like he's paying these guys to support him. But that's all I'm going to say on that issue.
If you don't support him, you go to Gulag.
Yeah, hopefully the local authorities have been alerted to that one.
There's
New
no
fastest lap
dissension in
by
Boston
Nicholas
today.
Daly. It almost looks like it's a quicker lap than our pole time. So Daly going even faster than he did in qualifying. He is going to be your guy to beat once again with a 2-second gap. He didn't achieve this much of a gap till at least lap 12 of the previous race. Only 12 laps in this one in the USF2000 cars. Mike Holler loops it in the turn number 6. Going to lose a bunch of positions there. That's going to put him into position number 9. Same spot that he did it in the previous race.
Yeah, him and that corner just do not get along.
Yeah, again, that curb is evil at the exit.
Yeah, to go. Brian Molitor trying to chase down Mike Ekmir now. Almost on his bumper through the hairpin, going to be going up through the uphill. He's going to be right there. Not able to make the move through the uphill, I don't think. Oh, he's going to try it here, going side by side in the turn number 2. Not quite yet.
Oh, 110.7. I think that's even faster than the pole time by 2/10.
Yeah, Brian Molitor in that 3rd position going new quick lap. So he is going to get behind by Mike Ekmir. It's just a matter of where he gets to do it. In the turn number 6 now, not going to make the dive to make the pass. Will he try and chase him down through the S's? Maybe make the move in the turn number 11, the hairpin. We are on lap 4 out of 12 now. 10 fewer laps than the last race. Last race was 22 laps, only 12 laps the distance of this one.
This is pretty much a sprint. Like, it's only like 15 minutes worth.
Modor not going to make the move in the turn number 11, almost getting into the rear gearbox of that number 5 machine of Mike Eckmeyer. So one more lap that he's got to try and get around Eckmeyer and hopefully chase down Nicholas Daly. Daly putting a gap of 2.5 seconds on Eckmeyer, though. It's going to be hard to beat. New quick time by Nicholas Daly, so he's pulling away even faster from these guys in second and third.
Yeah, he's just on one tonight. Like, he's found how to get through this track quickly, and he's just putting a hurt on everyone.
Goodbye now!
Gonna check out the replay. Rod SQ going around in that Lehigh Valley Phantoms machine. Little bit of help.
Oh.
Who was that?
Wow.
Oh,
That
man.
was violent.
That's not cool.
Definitely had help there, probably from an Islanders fan or a Bridgeport Islanders fan. Through turn number 3.
I blame Ron Hextall.
Some hockey humor for you guys at home. Still going to be a battle for the second position between Mike Eckmeyer and Brian Molitor. Going through the final corner in turn number 12, Mike Eckmeyer still holds on to the second position. Gap remains at 2 1/3 seconds between Nicholas Daly and Mike Eckmeyer in that number 5.
Oh, McNally in the pits.
Mike Ballion now coming into the pits. Let's see what the issue is for him. Looks like after the contact with SQ had a little bit of trouble. Let's see if that car is damaged. Yep, runs off once again into the outside wall.
That's an RAF paint scheme. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, and he definitely flew off the track with it.
Yeah.
I know you guys over there in France were jealous of the Royal Air Force, but that's not the reason.
Oh no, here we go again.
Hey, Luke, our Air Force is badass, okay? Don't diss out the Rafale.
Rockstar71 checking in, saying he was probably a Hershey Bears fan. Yeah, the Hershey Bears, I've never watched them personally in the AHL. I'm a Cleveland Monsters fan, but we're watching racing right now, so let's get back on that topic. Third turn number 1. These guys still fighting for the second position between Mike Eckmeyer and Brian Molitor.
Actually gained a bit of ground on Nick Daly.
Yeah, Molitor looking like he's getting impatient, looking for the pass at any opportunity he can get, trying to force that door open. Maybe make Eckmeyer a little bit nervous. They're closing the gap on Daly just a little bit. Gap is now at 2 1/10 seconds. Gonna check out the battle between the number 12 car of Cole Trexler and Michael Holler. Mike Holler all over the rear bumper of Cole Trexler in the turn number 7 and 7A now. Let's see if Trexler can hold off Mike Holler. Holler gonna take it down to the inside of the S's. He's gonna get the move done. Holler almost looks like he got that done super easily. Trexler seeming like he let him by.
Holler on that recovery drive.
Back to the battle for Mike Eckmeyer and Brian Molitor. Still nose to tail. Wonder where Molitor is going to find the place to pass Eckmeyer. Molitor is definitely faster than Eckmeyer, but Eckmeyer doing a absolutely fantastic job of just holding him off. With a track as hard to pass as Sonoma, I don't want to say easy to hold another driver off, but as long as you keep using your head and don't make any major mistakes, you can kind of keep that second position.
All you need is to be consistent and just run your lines and make sure to not leave an easy opening.
Yeah, let's ask James Watson, our Sonoma expert. Where would you make the pass on Mike Eckmeyer?
Well, the top passing zones is entering turn 11, provided you get a good exit out of 7A through the S's and you don't screw up turn 10. That is the best passing opportunity. And then going into 7A. But I'm curious because, like, Brian Molitor, he is an aggressive one. Like, we've all seen him pull off some pretty aggressive overtaking moves. So he might find an extra little passing opportunity that we may have not discussed.
Rockstar71 checking in saying, I've been roasted on air, therefore I will participate in the racing discussion again. So, hell yeah, that car just passed that other car. That's pretty much all we do up here in the booth.
Pretty much. Honestly, we don't even do that great anyways.
Hey, have some bit of faith. Oh, no way.
Outside move through turn number 6. Maybe for the crossover in turn 7. Gonna be side by side in the 7. We were just talking about he might force the move, and here it is. Gets the move done in the 7. Will
he's inside. He's still there. And Porcelli's coming.
Still side by side, but no, Molidor gets it through the S's. Molidor's going to be your second place car. David Porcelli now right there on the back of Mike Eckmere.
No, you're not trying.
David Porcelli trying to get on the podium spot. Both the cars run wide. Now into the run of turn 11. Porcelli's got a big gap. Not going to be able to close the gap here in the turn 11, but still another lap left to go. But only 4 laps to go before the race ends.
3 laps to go. That move by Eckmere was very smart. Force Molitor to be on the inside of 6, so he has a less good run out of that corner. So he can get in on the inside of 7A. But shout out to Molitor for such a good run around the outside of that corner of 7A. That says how you defense drive cleanly.
Yeah, it was a brilliant set of racing. Like, it was some of the best we've seen tonight, honestly.
So Nicholas Daly leading the points going into tonight. David Porcelli 99 points behind, so it's going to take some pretty big swing for David Porcelli to beat Nicholas Daly in the points. Daly will pretty much have to...
Yeah, keep in mind, he only has 7 races counted. So he's not going to have to... Whoa!
The sport! He's sideways! Are you kidding me?
He nearly made that extra race not matter. Oh my lord.
That is a very good point you bring up, James. If Porcelli can get up there into the top 3, Daly's going to have 4 drop weeks. So his 4 worst weeks are going to be dropped, and Porcelli's pretty much is where he's at. So that could be those 99 points gone for Nicholas Daly.
Yeah. Honestly, depending on what the SOF was, there might be a small chance that you can finish right here and still take it. Yeah, with the 2900 SOF, he might get good points even now, but he's not caring about that.
Almost
contact inside. Come on!
Oh dear.
Side by side through the S's. Porcelli's going to take it into 3rd position. David Porcelli's going to try and put himself on the podium position.
That was a pure, I've had enough of you, goodbye. That was a bye Felicia move, honestly.
You know, James, if I'm Eckmere, I'm pissed of that move. Oh, wow.
Hey.
Mike Eckmere.
Slide jump. I ain't got no problems with it.
White flag is out. Could that move have put David Porcelli on the top spot at championship? Mike Eckmere's taking another dive, looking to see if he can get back on the podium. This could be the battle right here for the championship top spot. And Eckmere's not even fighting for position number 1. Porcelli's going to have to do his best to hold him off in the turn number 6 now. Going to be single file going through. Neither of them hit the wall. Going to be in the turn number 7 now. Just through the S's, Porcelli has to hold him off. Can he do it? Going back to the race leader, Nicholas Daly, through the final section of the S's. Turn number 9 here. In the turn number 10, only 2 more quarters to go. All he's got to do is not hit anything with almost a 5-second gap to second place. It's his race to lose. It's going to be Nicholas Daly through turn number 12. Nicholas Daly is going to be your winner of the final race of the U.S. Open Wheel D Season Championship. Brian Molidor, no contest, going to come across the line second. David Porcelli 3rd, and Mike Eckmere 4th. So David Porcelli puts himself onto the podium position. Battle now going to be for the 5th position.
That was something, guys. Have you ever?
No, I've never.
So a fantastic race we just saw out of the USF open wheel D cars. Not so much a battle for the win. Nicholas Daly once again absolutely dominating the race, but a fantastic battle for the podium spot we saw between Nicholas Daly and Mike Eckmere. So we're going to jump back and watch Nagisa Yoshikawa. Looks like he went off track and lost his position for position number 5 through turn number 3 now. Into turn number 4, just hops the curve, jumps it a little bit wide. Not going to wreck just there. Save the car there in the turn number 6, though. Shoots it way wide, hits that outside tire barrier like we saw Porcelli do it in qualifying. That's going to destroy the car's handling, and fortunately, you see that left front tire is flat. He is done right there. But as we watch number 2 car of Nicholas Daly, your race winner, absolutely burning it down in the front stretch. Right there, just about in the burnout zone of the NHRA drag strip that they have here down the front stretch of Sonoma Raceway. So, Nicholas Daly going to be your winner of tonight's race of the USF Open Wheel Championship. Final race of the season, Brian Molitor going to come home second in the number 3 machine. David Porcelli rounding out your podium. Mike Eckmere coming home 4th. Mike Holler coming home 5th. So a pair of Mikes right there. Cole Trexler, our fans' biggest driver, going to be coming home 6th in the number 12 car. Rod Eskew in the Lehigh Valley Phantoms number 6 car coming home 7th. Rylan Richard coming home 8th. Brian Dees coming home 9th. And Arnold Koch coming home 10th. 11th is going to be Mike Ballion, and 12th, unfortunately, going to be Nagisa Yoshikawa after a fantastic 11 laps for that off-track.
What?
So David Porcelli, after a third-place finish tonight, absolute fantastic battle you had between you and Blake.
And Mike.
Between Eckmere, I mean, you had to absolutely fight to get on the podium tonight. So, how does it feel for a fantastic race for once in the USF2000 cars?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I think the USF2000 puts on a great show every week. The race with Mike was a little sketchy. I don't know what happened there at the start, but the race for the lead was over by turn 4, and that was unfortunate. But yeah, happy to be able to challenge for a position on a track where it's really overtake happen. Glad that we were able to have that race without contact, although, diagonal braking lines are interesting. And yeah, just been an awesome season overall. Gutted I wasn't able to secure the double championship, but happy to secure another Pro Mazda one, and looking forward to trying to get a double next season.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about championship. With a third place finish tonight, do you think maybe with only 8 weeks counted, you might have gotten it on Nicholas Daly, considering he ran all 12 weeks? He's got 4 drop weeks that are going to have to drop off there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that I wasn't able to make it happen. The oval weeks are also getting kind of rough now that we only have 2. It's sort of like we only get 2 drop weeks. So it's tough. Sometimes we get enough participations on the ovals that they count towards the championship. So it's sort of a toss-up there. This season, I did not have great performances on the ovals, and those added to sort of my drawback because I was around for both of those oval races. If I'd been away while they were happening, I might have had more of a shot in this USF2000 car. But I'm pretty sure I'm counting some pretty lackluster, 1 or 2 lackluster finishes in my 8-week tally.
Yes, seeing you're only about 100 points behind with only 8 races counted. With only 2 drop weeks, it definitely could have been your championship, but unfortunately not this time around. But there's always next season for you to go to.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to for Team Watson Racing, Satellite Racing. Special thanks to National Racing Network for an awesome broadcast every week. And yeah, guys, enjoy your week 13, and I will be here week 1 for both races.
Hell yeah. Pleasure talking to you tonight, and hopefully we're talking to you a bunch next season. Next up, we will bring in Nicholas Daly. Congratulations not only on the win in the USF2000 race, but the win in the PM18 race as well. On the championship for the USF2000s. Hell yeah, man. Just absolute domination out of you tonight. Did you just practice nothing but Sonoma this week?
No, I did more practice in the PM18. I did about an hour and a half, which is more than usual, and then just hopped into this car 15 minutes after the PM18 race. So yeah, I think I just got a really clean start there, and then I don't know who it was, but I think someone had a bit of a moment, like in turn 2, and then after that I had a nice gap the whole race.
Hell yeah. Well, I think you led every single lap we had on broadcast tonight, which is just absolutely fantastic. I don't think we've seen that before. Even with the domination we've seen occasionally out of Carter Lundy, he hasn't led every lap that we've broadcasted in night. So
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to get a double win on the broadcast. It's like the whole season I've had second place and third places, and then a lot of unfortunate crashes or mistakes that I've made. So to finish the season with a double win like this is pretty awesome.
hell yeah. Well, why don't we get all your sponsor plugs and thank yous in, man? I mean, you earned it tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as always, shout out to Downforce Racing. Even though I don't have any teammates at least today, I know Ted's run a few races this season. So yeah, it's been great to have him. And thank you guys for doing the broadcast work, and thank you to all the viewers for watching.
Oh yeah, well thank you very much. So hopefully we're talking to you again a bunch next season because you put on a fantastic show tonight. You pretty much gave us most of our talking points all season. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, well a fantastic night of Sonoma Racing tonight. I've always been a disser of this track, Watson. I know you're a huge fan of it, but first we'll bring it to Sebastian Kinder. Sebastian, from across the ocean, what do you think of Sonoma Racing and all the great action it put on for us tonight?
It's an amazing track. That's all there is. I freaking love it. I love all the Californian tracks, so this one is no exception. Great fights, some amazing moves. Man, I want to do this again so much.
And James, we know you love this track, so tell us what you thought about the racing tonight.
I thought we saw a lot of awesome racing. We saw what this track is capable of on full display. Like, people think that it's not easy to pass here, and it's not, but that doesn't mean it's impossible to pass. Like, you just had to work really hard for it. And they worked hard for it, and we got to see some incredible battles because of it.
Yeah, and I'm absolutely thrilled by the action we saw in this USF2000 race. Maybe not a battle for the win tonight, but that battle for third position for those two guys to get on the podium was absolutely fantastic. 2 wide action through the S's. I don't think I've ever seen that at Sonoma before, watching not only in NASCAR through my whole probably 20-something years on this earth, but even in IndyCar, I don't think I've seen cars able to go 2 wide through the S's. So a first for me tonight and a first for all you guys at home. So thank you very much for watching tonight on the National Race Network with the USF2000 doubleheader. Let us know if you want to see more of the USF2000 races, if you want to see it in just a one-off format, maybe only for the ovals, an occasional road course, or if you want to see it every single week. And thank you for tuning in each and every week to us. Thanks to James Watson, Sebastian Kinder for joining us every night. Thanks for Chris for producing this show, and thank you guys for joining in every single night we broadcast these things. My name's Patrick Byrne. You guys have a great night.